What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new F1 25 video. Today we are going to be doing the WOR round 8, and that's going to be at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix at Imola. If you haven't checked my last video, you should go and check that out. You should check all my videos, but it's been a long time coming since I've done last videos. But so anyways, want to give this video a like and a subscribe for more content. Anyways, let's get into it. So everybody, it's 3 more races to go, and looking at the weather forecast, it is a wet qualifying session, but the good news is the track is going to dry, so last person sets the lap will start on pole position or get the best advantage. Doesn't mean you can get pole, but it does give you a very good chance as you get more grip on the tyres around the track, which gives you a very strong chance of pole unless you invalidate. But anyways, we come into this race P7 in the Drivers' Championship. And my target is to try and beat Simbarox1, which is the other YouTuber. You should go and subscribe to him to try and get P4 in the Drivers' Championship. I can mathematically get 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. But unless Christian doesn't race or DNFs the last 3 races, which he's not racing today because he probably can't make it, but if he doesn't make Japan or Abu Dhabi or DNS to both of them, then, and I score back-to-back wins, including some good points in Imola, I can get 3rd in the championship, but it's going to be really hard to get. And as you see here, we get purple the first sector because the times are tumbling down as we go through Ravazza 1, making sure it's all nice and tidy, and then still in gear 3, round the last corner. And we're going to come in the pits, and it's not a time left, but we were to go fastest, but we wanted to, this was a practice lap in case something would happen. But looking at my race director, I see Jensen has gone on softs, and does that mean, is it time for softs yet? But I checked in the garage, and apparently softs are the fastest tyres, so we decided to go on it and be one of the last people to do a lap. And as you see here, we've got a bit of a better chance to get a good result if we master this lap. So we're going to burn that battery all the way to 57. We've got half the battery, and it might seem a lot. As we go through turn 1 through Tamburello, we've got through gear 4 and then up to gear 5 through turn 3. As we exit the Tamburello, we're 3/10 up. And as we go through the Villeneuve chicane, as we're going to keep it nice and tidy, as we had a 26.064 in the first sector, as we had a little bit of slide through Tosa. As you see, we've got about 60% of the battery. We're going to drain a little bit more. As you see, there's a car in front. As we go through Piratella, as we're nearly almost a 10th up, which means this could be likely that it could be a good result. As we go through Aqua Minerale, through to gear 3 and up to gear 4 we go. We drain all the battery, but make sure we have to save for the last sector. 54.2 in the middle sector of the lap, but we've got a bit of dirty air in front, but I didn't think I complained because I shouldn't get too much of dirty air. As we see, we're draining all that battery before we're breaking into the first Ravazza, so we stay in gear 4. We could have been on gear 3, and we need to get a good exit. As we go through the last corner, Jensen gets a 121.7, and we're going to cross the line. What does it give us? And it gives us 7th fastest, which not too keen about. And here is our qualifying results. You see Luca is on pole with a 127, and it's Nilo, which is Janelle, Thomas, Schumacher, Wards, my rival Simba and other YouTuber Simba. 6 and 7 for the YouTubers. 8th is Ollie Hornby, 9th is Jensen, and then 10th is XPG Flame, my teammate. And then rounding off the top 12 is Jules and Bobbett's at the back of the grid. Strategy wise today is we're going to be starting on mediums. Everyone's starting on mediums like always, but the biggest shock is Simbarox is going to be starting on the hards. Now, is he going to go for an alternate strategy, or is he going to screw it up or something? That might be a bit risky for Simba, but it's up to him really. But let's see how this race pans out for him. And here we go. We have 5 red lights ahead of the drivers. See what we can do. 3 races to go. It's lights out and away we go. And we often get a very good start. And you see Simba's got a pretty good launch off Wards, off the lines. They're going to go side by side through the Tamburello chicane. Who's going to be in the lead in the turn 1, as you see, as Luca takes the lead in the turn 1. And Simba and Wards are going to go wheel to wheel through turns 2 and turn 3, and they're going to go side by side, hitting towards the Villeneuve chicane, and Simba does get him going into the Villeneuve chicane, which is a very good start on hard compound tyres. Credit to that, but you know Simba's going to be a bit slow at the start, but once the laps coming in and the mediums start fading, Simba's going to be a rocket ship. So we know that we need to stick with Simba. And Simba needs to manage the pace, even though he is my rival to go for 4th in the championship, maybe get 3rd in the championship if we get some very decent points. As you see here, we hit the Valianti Alta. We've got to be careful of those track limit warnings, and we have Simba's teammate Ollie Hornby behind and Jensen in 9. So I wonder if them two are going to be quite fast today. As you see, I see first place has got a bit of a gap away, but I don't know if he's broken DRS. You see, we end lap 1 and we start the second lap with 80% of the battery, and we're going to tuck in behind Wards, which is one of my rivals. As you see, Ollie Hornby think he's burning battery because he wants to try and get past, but I'm having none of that. As we start the second lap through the Tamburello chicane, as Jules does overtake, and I see there's a yellow flag at the back, and I see Bobbers has gone off with flame, so it must be an incident with them as we start lap 3 of this race, as we are in the Valianti Alta of this lap 3 of this race, and Ollie Hornby behind me has picked up a 3-second time penalty, and I was like, if Ollie goes past me, should I let him by, or should I keep track position? Because I'm not risking silly moves, but I have to defend myself, because I don't want to lose DRS and we want to keep the train going. But I found out it's not actually Bobbers, it's the other McLaren of Jensen. It's actually Jensen, my bad. As you see, we start lap 4 by the way through the Tamburello chicane, and WOR is in front. As you see, Ollie Hornby is half a second behind, 6/10 behind me now, as we are holding pace really well as we're managing the dirty air. I think what I learned is if you get too close to the car behind, then I think you get more dirty air. This is what I learned on this game this year, so try not to get too close to the car as you can. As we are on lap 6 of this race through the Valianti Alta, and here we go. We got a very good exit there, and we're still half a second behind, so we're going to have to try and use some battery and save some battery in corners. As you see, there is smoke, a little bit of smoke coming up, but at least the smoke has already gone, which has made the game a lot better, which I think F1 25 is becoming one of my prime games since 2021. As we start lap 7 out of 32 of this Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, and we're still in P7 on the 7th lap of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. As we go through turns 1 and 2, the Tamburello chicane, as we did close up a bit, as we are 2/10 behind Ollie Hornby. And she's a yellow flag at the back, and that is Jules off. And it must be Jules might have an incident or he made his own mistake, but I'm not sure about that. But anyway, as we hit through Tosa, and we have 70% on the battery, as we're going to try need to get a good cornering on Piratella. We do, down to gear 5. As you see, people do turn their battery in and use it, but I tend to keep it, so then I can close up quite easy, because I think that's my thing to do on this game with this ERS rule. As people now use ERS in qualifying, as they've turned the ERS off, but we managed to get full battery, so I wonder if everyone has lower battery than I do, which I'm not pretty sure about. Anyway, moving on to lap 10, at the start of lap 10, and we are still stuck in P7 of this race, but we still have a lot of battery to do. But I'm letting people just use their battery, and I'll use it to close up to them. As you see, I made a little bit of a mistake through the Tamburello chicane, but I just managed to hold on, otherwise it would have been race over. As you looking at the gap, and Wards is nearly about to drop out of DRS. If so, we have a chance of catching him. As we see, our first pit stop of this race is actually Nilo, which is Yanel, but Yanel's changed to Nilo, as apparently he's made a pit stop at lap 10 of this race, so he's going to be on really old tyres at the end. as Bobbers does go past Yanel because Yanel's pitting. As Bobbers also has a 3 second time penalty, we do slide a little bit because we're struggling in dirty air. But now Wards has dropped out of DRS range, so Wards needs to get back into this DRS, so he will need to use a bit of battery, and that means we'll need to use a bit of battery if we don't want to drop out of DRS. But luckily we're not under pressure from Ollie Hornby, who has made a mistake and is dropped 2.5 seconds behind, but also the 3 second time penalty. As Wards is now 1.2 behind as we go through Aqua Minerale. We are kind of struggling in the dirty air a bit, so we're going to have to try and keep control of the car, as now the gap's 1.1, but who knows if Wards will be in DRS next lap, unless Wards is pitting. Should we pit? Should that be the right time for us to pit, or we could stay out and be on fresh tyres? I'm not risking to be on bad tyres, because I want to be on good tyres at the end and catch up to other people. As we go through Ravazza 2 for the last time on lap 11, as you see, no one pits this lap, as Wards doesn't have DRS, but we have the chance to catch up. But now Wards is dropping back from Simba because Simba's got DRS because he's on hard tyres. So we start lap 12 through turns 1 and 2, and we made another mistake, and we luckily save again because the tyres are fading away, as we now nearly dropped out of DRS range. So we're going to have to use some of the battery and need to get good cornering, especially through Toza. As you see, Simba's overtaken Schumacher because Schumacher's on old medium, Simba's on the hards, and you see the hards are an absolute rocket ship. And now you see VNT Thomas is pitted and he's got a 10-second time penalty. So that means we could make up 2 places at the end. So one VNT Thomas because of a 10-second time penalty, and he also will be on older tyres than I will by a little bit. But will we beat him, or could we get at least a P5 or maybe a P4 finish? I don't know what will happen. Depends if a safety car comes out. Maybe it might go into Simba's hands, but I'm not sure if it will or not, because there's not much safety cars in leagues now like it used to be. But anyway, moving on to the end of lap 13 through the Valiante Alta, as we're 6/10 behind. Wards is out of DRS range, but is it time for us to pit, or we should go out another lap? We've got to see what other people will do. And as you see, Schumacher goes into the pits and Wards goes in. We try and follow him, but we tend to stay out for another lap, so we try and do the opposite to them. And Luca in front of Simba has a 3 second of time penalty, but he has a good chance of scoring a decent result. He's actually quite good in here. As Simba takes the lead of this race, but he's yet to stop. Luca is second, and I'm in P3, but I'm yet to pit, as Nilo is now in P4, but he's 14 seconds behind. But we are going to make our pit stop in this race, as we go, make sure we don't speed. We go in the pits, and Luca goes into the pits as well, while Simba stays out. But I don't think it's his pit time yet, because he can stay out for a couple more laps. But could he stay out to at least about lap 20 or something, so his mediums don't go very, very bad to the end? But he might be a threat, but I'm not pretty sure. But who knows if a safety car might come out. As you see, it's yellows by the Valiante Alta, as it's just, I think it's just Jensen who spun out. Yeah, it was Jensen that spun out, but he also has 3 seconds. As we're now outside of the pits now, as you see, there's battles out in front with people with older tyres. So will this now be the chance for us to catch up, as Luca is right behind Ollie Hornby now, and we can catch up? As you see, we've closed up very easy to Wards, and now we can make a chance to go past him as we open up the DRS on lap 17 of this race, as Ollie Hornby is 1.5 ahead with a 3 second time penalty. As we see, we're not going to pass Wards yet because we're too far back. We start lap 17 through turn 1 and 2 we go, and we're making sure we're close enough so we can make the move, and we need enough battery as well. As we go through the Villeneuve chicane, making sure it's all nice and tidy, and we have 40% of the battery as we go through Ravazza 2, and now we're going to be starting the 18th lap of the Imola Grand Prix. And as we now get the DRS open, and this is going to be an easy part, as Wards is flashing, and we move up to P7 of this race, Fabulous stuff. And now this is time to try and get past Ollie Hornby. But can we get past Luca as well? But it's going to be hard to get past Luca. But he's got 3 seconds. But try and get at least a 3 second gap, which is quite keen for us. Through total we go. We now in the DRS range of Ollie Hornby. As we're now 8 tenths behind. We are very low on battery, so we need to save if we want to get past Ollie Hornby. So now we're going to end lap 19 in this race. We've got half the battery now, and we've finally closed up to Ollie Hornby. As you see, Simba is now pitted from the lead as he started on his hard combine tyre, but he's going to be a threat as we now pass Ollie Hornby, Simba's teammate. But now, can we get in the 3 second gap of Luca to try and get a good result? As we could end up with a good result. We never know what will happen. As we start lap 20 of this race with 13 laps to go, there's 2 drivers in front that are going to be on really old tyres at the end. But who is going to win this race? Could it be Schumacher? Could it be Luca? Could it even be me? But we'll never know what will happen. But we're going to have to try and pull away from Ollie Hornby. But he's got 3 second of time penalty, and so has Ward, as Ward might have already picked up a 3 second of time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. As we go through the Valiante Alta, we go. And looking up the gap in front, it is 3.5 seconds. It has now got up to 5 seconds as Lucas managed to close up to Schumacher with the same age of lap time as me. You see, we have to work together with Ward. You see, we have to let him by. But I don't know if it's to work or not, but I wouldn't worry about it because Ward has got a 3 second of time penalty, and so has Ollie. I can still beat them two. As we're going through Tosa, we go. I'm down to gear 3, making sure it's all right, and we get a very good exit there. As we drain a little bit of battery to try and keep in touch with Ward in case he manages to close out, and we are dropping back from Schumacher because Ward is quite slow, and I don't know why Ward just wants to I can't seem to work to try and close up because I've got people trying to get past me. But what is even the point in people doing it with older tyres? It's just taking a lot of time off of me and it's ruining my chances. But anyway, we're on lap 25 of this race. Schumacher's 6.6 and we're closing the gap by 6.4 seconds. We're now 6.45 behind as we have to try and drain the battery so we don't get Ward in the way. As Luca's up to second, as we now Ward has gone past us again, which I'm not sure if this was the right thing to do, work with Ward, because I think he was a lot slower on the corners and giving me the dirty air, which is making me do it as well, which is a little bit annoying. But funny enough, Simba is not even closing up because his tyres are very old, so that means we are safe to get a P4 position unless something happens in front. Like, could it be a puncture? Could it be, as with 3 more laps to go, as you see Schumacher and Imola are battling, as Schumacher has gone off the track, and you see Schumacher's going slow, and there's a yellow flag in front, and it is Schumacher, and that means we have got a very good chance to get our first podium in 2 years in WOR Tier 2, which will be amazing out there. But can we close the gap to Nilo? Or will Nilo stay in front? But it's going to take a lot of effort to do. As we see, we are very desperate to get that podium and try and pull away from Schumacher because he's on a lap older tyres than me. As we go through Piratella we go. Schumacher's 4 tenths behind me. As we need to try and get the corner right through Aqua Millerale. Get a really good exit there. The gap is 4.9 in front. Luca's got a very healthy lead, especially with that 3 second of time penalty. As we go through the Valiante Alta, making sure it's all nice and tidy. But now this is the last lap. Will it be me or will it be Schumacher? As we now start the final lap of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. As you see, I'm trying to break the slipstream a little bit so Schumacher doesn't get me. But Schumacher has enough battery. And will he go for a move? Schumacher goes down the inside. But we'll see about that. Schumacher does overtake me. but it's not over yet because I can charge the battery a bit. As you see, Schumacher is charging the battery, so we're ready for the last few corners when we get to like Ravazza. As you see now, for the final time, we're going to go through Tosa. We're going to try and keep the gap behind, but it's going to be a struggle with the dirty air. As you see, we don't have to worry about WORs. As you know, we are finishing P4 or P3, depends if we get Schumacher or not. As for the final time through Piratello we are 3 tenths behind, and now to Acqua Minerale, and I get a little bit of a better exit, but we need to get a very good exit in the Valiante Alta chicane. And can we do it and try and get a run on Schumacher to try and go around the outside? We do get a really good run. We're burning all our battery. Schumacher's in front. We're about 10 behind. Will I make for a move around the outside? I do attempt to go around the outside, but I do slide a bit. And that means Luca wins on track. Nilo second, but unfortunately, it's going to be P4 for us, matching our best result of the season, which is very close to a podium, but GG's to Schumacher. Looking at the race results now, Luca has won the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix from pole. Congrats to him with a 3-second time penalty. Nilo second, Schumacher third, just ahead of me in P4 with a good battle at the end. Ollie Hornby P5, Simba P6, Bobbers P7, Ward's 8th, Jensen 9th, and XUPG Flame in P10. And rounding off is the 2 Saubers of Thomas and Jules. And here's the standings after this race. Schumacher leads, Yenil second, Christian third, Simba is fourth, Luca overtook me with that win, with me in P6, Ward 7th, Crowden 8th, Crispy and Andrea rounding off the top 10. So there is a possible chance for maximum I can get P3 in the Drivers' Championship, but only if Christian doesn't score and I get a very strong result for like P1 or P2 in Japan or Abu Dhabi. And it's been amazing to do a video again after a while. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and please hit the like and subscribe button for more content. See ya. Goodbye.